dreamers, and welcome back to PERLA'S DREAMS. Libra, Scorpio, Cusp. We have just a quick reminder. These are general readings, so only take whatever resonates, and please leave the rest. Let me just fix this because it's driving me a little crazy. There is this okay, you guys are really in a space this at least the next couple of weeks where you're giving somebody the cold shoulder. You're really not talking to them. You're really not wanting to hear their excuses or something of that matter. Or maybe vice versa, this is somebody towards you. There was a falling out with somebody. There was an ending here that feels very much like somebody was not able to express themselves wholly or completely within the space or within something ending. And somebody very much wants to be heard. And you guys, because I feel like it's the other person that feels like they want to be heard, not you guys. I feel like you guys are just trying to ignore the person. You really don't want to hear what they have to say. You really don't want to hear their excuses. And hold on, guys. And at this point, I feel like you guys are very just much annoyed with somebody. If you guys do choose to hear this person out or something like that, I don't know. I don't feel like this person has anything to say that you don't already know. And it's very simple. Like, let's say maybe this person stole some money from you. Maybe this person betrayed you, or whatever it was. Whatever the situation that happened between you and this individual that led to a separation or a breaking of any type of relationship, right? Whether romantic or platonic, was very much done in a sense that cannot be denied. Does that make sense? So, and again, this is like the most extreme case as an example. You find your significant other in bed with somebody else. It's like there's nothing that you can say that is going to justify what I just saw. So it is up to that level type of betrayal, or up to that level type of thing. It's like, somebody, you catch somebody stealing something out of your purse, whatever it was like it's something that cannot be denied. So for you to take your time to listen to the excuse of this person is not worth it. And that's the way that you're viewing it, and that's exactly what it is that you're communicating to this person. Again, there's irritation here because now it's like there is this sense of like the separating or the splitting of things, right? But this thing is not necessarily like materialistic. I feel like you're frustrated over the fact that now you have to split like friends with somebody else, or you have to split like kids or whatever it is. Like, if they would have just had a little bit more self-restraint or self-control, like it's almost kind of like you're more annoyed and angry of the consequences of this person's actions than their actions itself, right? And again, this is just an example. Like, somebody cheated on you, so now you guys have to go through a divorce. You have to figure out like custody battle and all of this thing. So you're more upset over the fact that now you have to figure all of this crap out than the fact that this person cheated on you. Like if somebody stole your identity and it was like a friend, you're more upset over the fact that now you have to go through the IRS, you have to go through all of these channels, all of these things because your credit score is messed up. So again, there is this energy of like being upset more with like the consequences of something or the aftermath of an action that somebody else took against you. And you kind of really are just, again, I'm getting this like fed up, like I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to think about it, like I just want this part of it or this section of it or whatever to just be over with. For those of you that are having like headaches, especially like in the back right side of your head, I'm picking up that it's nothing to be alarmed about, but definitely get checked. I feel that this may be in connection, and again, I am not a doctor, um, so take it however you want, however you want. But this is like I'm picking up like this headache on the right side of the skull, right, and it's like it's either connected or it's like it has something to do with like your blood pressure. So just kind of make sure that if you're having like sudden headaches or you're feeling certain ways or whatever, like there's nothing wrong with going to the doctor and getting yourself checked out or whatever, or make sure that you're keeping up with your primary care is really what I want to say. But again, I don't feel like it's something huge or something like death threatening. This is something like sometimes people when they have high blood pressure, like symptoms may be a headache or something like that. So it's definitely something to kind of like be aware of. So because I am picking up like this headache is a lot, it has a lot to do with like the stress, but the stress can be causing like high blood pressure. Like it's probably a way that your body deals with that, with stress in a certain way. So just keep that in mind. There's gonna be some of you who are, for those of you that are in a relationship and everything seems to be going good and things like that, your significant other, whatever, may be a little bit secretive or something like that during this time. They're planning a surprise is what I'm picking up. Now, whether you guys are like, you guys are dating, maybe somebody is proposing like, to get engaged, or somebody's asking somebody to move in or something of that matter, because there seems to be like this secretive energy, but there's other people that are involved with it, but it's like it's coming in a form of like surprising you or like a gift or something of that matter. So don't allow like your thoughts to be like, oh, who's she on the phone with, who he on the phone with, to go into like a negative space right away, especially if your significant other has never given you a reason to distrust them in that way. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see. um Whenever you're feeling out of balance or whenever you're feeling like you're not grounded, you're being is very beneficial for you guys anyways during this time to really get grounded with the directions. I am not exactly sure how that is going to pertain or how that's going to look for you. When I talk about directions, we're talking about like the north, east, south, and west. So maybe it's about calling those energies in, and it's almost kind of like so like I can use this as an example, right? So like we have north, south, now north, south, east, and west, right? And you're like in the middle, and these four energies, when you invoke them or when you call them, allow you to stay grounded and allow you to stay balanced. So however it is that you connect with those energies, feel free to do whatever it is, but it is coming in as those four directions of energy, kind of like coming in, the four directions coming in and grounding you or holding you is what I'm picking up. So if whoever needed to hear that is the way that it came up. If you're having some issues or something with grounding. Give me a second. I forgot I was going to write something. All right. Let me go back to this. Where am I? I'm right here. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. It's like when certain things come to mind, like I gotta write it down because then I'll forget later. Um, so I gotta like if you know, you know. Um, what else do we have for you guys? Alright, let's go ahead and let's pull out some cards. Anything else that Libra, Scorpio, Cusp need to know during this time? There's changes that need to be made, and there's an adjustment in something, that there's a flexibility that you need to open yourself up to, whether this is like at work or financially. There is a flexibility that is needed. Some of you are going to be asked to work with a partner on. So, okay, I feel like this is why the flexibility is coming up. And I'm feeling like that tension headache again in the back of my head. So it's almost kind of like, let's say you were put in charge of a project at work or taking the lead on a meeting or something. And now all of a sudden your boss comes to you and say, oh, by the way, you're co-leading this project or co-leading this meeting with so and so, and you're just like, seriously, like I already have like all the work done, like now you're gonna add some, like it's kind of like that type. But it's like there needs to be flexibility because there's something within that space that is going to, depending how you respond or react to it, it was like that essence, that energy shows your boss or whoever it is, whether or not you are in a position to elevate or get a promotion. So it's better to accept, like lead with grace, I would say, when it comes to this. So we have the 5 of Wands with the 5 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Wands with the 3 of Swords. And then we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse with the Knight of Pentacles in the upright position. So again, this may not be a situation that is ideal for you. Maybe you are somebody that likes to take charge. Maybe you are somebody that do not really work well with others when it comes to certain things. But this is an experience. This is a chance, an opportunity for you to kind of like humble yourself a little bit and see how, because I feel like this is not necessarily about, this partnership is not about you being told that you can't lead or you being told that you can't take charge. I feel that this is an opportunity for you to learn how you can work with others, or how you can have others, and I know this is going to sound horrible, but how can you have others work for you in an effective way where you don't have to continuously be like hovering or checking over them or constantly redirecting or constantly giving like confirmation or something of that way. So there is something within this space for you to learn about your own leadership and how you can be a better leader. Does that make sense? All right. So let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card for your closing message. We have the Angels and Ancestors oracle deck is what we're using. The Shalom Master. Be grateful in movement and action. Okay, be grateful. So again, the way that you handle this situation is really going to be the outcome, whether or not you get that promotion or whether or not you get that raise. So even if you are uncomfortable with working with someone or whatever, I would shy away from letting certain co-workers know. Does that make sense? Slow and steady, breathe and flow. Take a gentler approach. So again, I am getting this feel like regardless of how frustrating it may be, especially like if you have like I'm gonna use one of my kids as an example. There was one of the twins, and you know, my three youngest are all three are freshmen in high school. So you can already imagine. But one of them had a project, and she had I think she was initially working with like someone else. I don't know what happened. The kid was not going to be available for the I don't know, something happened with this last minute, and I'm talking about like 2 or 3 days before presentation. Her partner was switched. Now they had already divided the work and she had already done her portion. Well, this new partner had done the same portion that she had done, if that makes any sense, right? So they were kind of both, it was a presentation, I believe, like in Spanish or something like that. So they had both studied the same thing. So then it came down to a point where one of them had to learn the opposite, and they had it discuss, excuse me, they had to discuss who was going to do what. But the funny thing was that my child had already studied their part and their counterpart, right? Because she just had this feeling like something was gonna happen. So it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was like this dialogue thing that they had to memorize, and it was like a conversation in Spanish, right? And while she was studying, or while she was reviewing it with me, she ended up being both person, right? So she was like the girl or the guy or whatever, vice versa, back and forth. So she learned the entire thing. So when her partner was switched at the last minute, it really didn't affect her as much, even though they were both playing the same part. So because she had a sense that something was going to happen, right? Like, for some reason, she felt like she needed to learn both of them. And she did. When the switch happened, even though she was initially upset over the fact that now she had to be the opposite person, even though she knew it, but she wasn't as comfortable with doing it, she was okay with it because she had already like studied for it. I don't know if that makes any sense. And it's almost kind of like the approach that she had with it and how she went into that space and working with somebody like last minute and stuff like that, they still managed to get an A on the project. So it's kind of like that energy that you're being asked to kind of like embrace, like needing to be a little bit more flexible and needing to go a little bit more with the flow. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you at this moment in time. As always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.